Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something huge, something that's already changing everything around us: artificial intelligence.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a pretty startling idea. Experts have pointed out that a really sophisticated AI could, in theory, take down our power grid, our water supply, and our transportation systems, all at once. Now, that alone doesn't mean the end of the world, but there's this old saying, and it's kind of chilling how true it is. And look, we're not just talking about a fancy new app on your phone. Experts are literally calling AI a tectonic shift in human society. Think about that, like on the same level as the Industrial Revolution. It's already happening, and believe me, it is changing everything. So, what are we supposed to make of all this? Should we be excited? Or, honestly, should we be really, really scared? That's the big question. And in this explainer, we're going to look at both sides of that coin, the incredible promise and the terrifying peril, so you can get a handle on what's really at stake here.
All right, let's start with the good stuff, the promise. Because AI is already being used like a superpower, solving problems in ways that just a few years ago would have seemed like science fiction.
And this superpower isn't some abstract thing. It can be incredibly personal. Just take Rachel, a farmer down in South Carolina. For her, AI is like the ultimate farmhand. It's got her family's entire planting history logged, going all the way back to 1971. It can tell what's wrong with her soybeans just from a photo. It can even figure out the exact part number she needs for a busted tractor. This isn't theoretical. It's a real tool that's helping her save her family's 100-year-old farm.
And from saving farms to, well, saving lives. This story is incredible. A woman named Susan finds out she has this weird little nodule on her lung. The standard procedure, her doctor says, let's wait 3 to 6 months and see if it grows. But then they run the scan through a new AI program. The AI crunches the data, compares it to this massive library of cancer images, and basically says, nope, this looks like cancer, act now. So they did. They operated right away, and it was cancer. Think about that. The AI literally saved her life by cutting through that dangerous waiting period.
Okay, so that's the promise. But we have to look at the other side of the coin, the peril. Because for every amazing story like Susan's, there's a potential danger that is just as powerful and, frankly, pretty frightening. Experts keep saying, we've seen this movie before, right? Just think about social media. It was supposed to connect the world, and in some ways it did. But it also brought us, a whole lot of division and a mental health crisis for young people. The big fear here is that we're about to make the same exact mistakes with AI, but this time the consequences could be so much worse.
And this danger isn't just some far-off threat. It became terrifyingly real for a teenager named Elliston. A classmate took innocent photos of her and her friends from their Instagram accounts, fed them into a simple AI app, and in seconds it created fake nude images of them. Just like that, a tool anyone can get their hands on became a weapon for humiliation.
And here is the absolute craziest part. When this happened, the law was useless. The system had no idea what to do. Because the images were technically fake. They didn't fit the legal definition of child pornography. Can you believe that? The technology was moving so fast that our laws, our whole social safety net, just hadn't caught up. It left Elliston and her friends totally exposed, with no way to fight back and zero consequences for the person who did it.
So you have these deeply personal harms, but the risks, they scale up big time. We're talking about massive job disruption. Economists are saying whole job categories like financial analyst could just disappear. Then there's automated bias. AI systems learn from our data, right? Well, our data is full of historical biases, and the AI just learns and automates them. That can affect everything from who gets a job interview to who gets a loan. And then there's the biggest fear of all, the existential stuff we talked about at the beginning, the potential to really destabilize our entire society.
So what makes this technology so uniquely powerful? Why is it capable of both saving lives and ruining them? Well, to really get it, we've got to take a peek inside what some people are calling the digital brain.
Okay, so think about it like this. A normal computer program is, it's programmed. A coder writes line after line of code that says, if this happens, do that. It just follows instructions. But AI is different. It's not really programmed, it's grown. You give this digital brain a staggering amount of data, like the entire internet, and it just learns. It teaches itself to see patterns, to pick up skills, to strategize. It's not following a script, it's actually starting to think on its own.
So why is this happening so fast and so recklessly? You got to look at the motivation.
This is an all-out arms race. You have a few giant tech companies battling it out. And their number one goal, it's not our safety or well-being, it's market dominance. It's about being the first, the biggest, the most powerful. And when that's the race you're in, you start cutting corners on safety. You just move fast and break things, and hope the collateral damage isn't too bad.
And if you want to see that in black and white, look at this number. It's an estimate, but it tells the whole story. For every $2,000 spent making AI more powerful, only $1 is spent on making it safe. 2,000 to 1. The race for power is completely dwarfing any concern for safety.
And this just sounds crazy, but it's apparently true. There's more regulation on how you make a sandwich than there is on building this potentially world-altering AI. I mean, think about that. We have rules for deli meat, but for the most powerful technology humans have ever created, it's the Wild West. The guardrails are basically non-existent.
Okay, I know. This can all sound really overwhelming, maybe even a little hopeless. But here's the most important thing to remember. The future of AI isn't written yet. It's not a done deal. The direction this whole thing goes, that's a choice. And it's a choice we all have a part in.
So what's the right mindset here? The documentary that inspired a lot of this explainer has a great term for it. It suggests we become apocalyptists. Now, that doesn't mean you're a doomer running for the hills. Not at all. It means you're able to hold both ideas in your head at the same time, that AI has this incredible potential for good, and it poses this massive, massive threat. It's about being clear-eyed and realistic so we can steer it towards the good stuff.
So how do we actually do that? It comes down to something called collective action. Look, you don't need to be a coder or a tech genius to have a say in this. You can ask questions at your job, at your school. Hey, how are we using AI here? You can use your wallet. Support the companies that are actually trying to build this stuff safely. And you can use your voice. Call your representatives. Let them know this stuff matters to you. One person doing this doesn't change much, but millions of us doing it, that creates a tidal wave of change.
Because really, the only way we end up in the worst-case scenario is if we all just throw up our hands and say it's hopeless. That feeling of powerlessness is the real danger, because it makes us do nothing. And everyone, the tech experts, the activists, the people who've been hurt by this, they all say the same thing. There is a better future out there, and it is absolutely worth fighting for.
So that's where we are. We've got the most powerful technology ever created sitting right in front of us. And it leaves us with what might be the single biggest question of our generation. What kind of future are we going to choose to build with it?